Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And we are finally here for the most awaited event before your SBL paper, and that is analysis of your pre-seen material. Now, we have done enough number of questions together in the class to know how exactly is the pre-seen material used, how is it structured, and what exactly are you expected to do with the material. But yes, think of those 7 sessions as a dress rehearsal. This is the final act before your SBL exam. So today what we are going to do is we are going to understand what your attempt specific pre-seen material is all about. I'm sure all of you have downloaded the PDF. Then we'll analyze the material, we'll understand the different we'll understand the different aspects associated with it. We'll try to see you know we'll try to understand which models and which frameworks in your SBL syllabus are applicable to this one. And the final step in our journey will be applying and trying to find out predicted syllabus areas from which a question can be tested in the paper. Now you have to understand one thing, that this session or any pre-seen session that you see, it's never going to give you a definitive idea of what kind of questions are going to pop up in the paper. That is something which we'll have to deal with on the spot. Before we begin, a couple of pointers for everyone in terms of the importance of pre-seen. We have solved quite a lot of questions together. If there is one thing that I'm sure all of you have noticed is how relevant is the pre-seen for your actual answers. Please understand that the pre-seen material is in no way a definitive guide on what exactly or what kind of questions does the paper contain. Please understand that the whole idea behind pre-seen material is to give you a basic idea ki, what is the industry in which this particular company operates in. You will get information about that industry, you will get information about that company. Now where does this idea come from? Earlier, when the SBL paper was introduced for the first time, it was a 4-hour exam. All the pieces of information that you get now, this information would often be given to you or in the actual paper. It was a 4-hour paper, so you would spend 1.5 hour analyzing the material, making notes there in the examination hall, and then you would answer questions based on tasks. Now what ACCA does is 15 days before the SBL paper, they release background information. So this background information talks about the industry in which you are operating. Like this time we have the hairdressing industry. Last time, once we had the hotel industry, once we had construction, once we had charity. So we have different industries. So they give you the overview of the industry in that country, since how long this particular sector is on. Then they tell you about who are the competitors, what is each one's market share, what are some of the major challenges that you are facing in that particular sector, the regulatory body in that country, the rules and regulations and everything. Then they talk specifically about the company. When was this company established? Who are the founders? Is it like an owner driven business? What are their KPIs? How does that company position itself in the industry? Then advantages, disadvantages, competitive benefits. So all of these are basically background information that is given to you. Then they tell you about the board of directors, executive kitna, non-executive kitna, all that kind of information is available. This is then followed by, an extra from the company's website. You get information about risk, the major risks that the company is facing. So all of this information is given to you. What is the need of this information? You get to know about the industry and the company, so when you go to the exam hall, you are better prepared. You know the sector in which the case study is operating. Now you are not supposed to know anything more about that sector or industry apart from what is given in the pre-seen material. So now don't sit and get to know more about the hairdressing industry. That is going to be of no use. And in the overall scheme of things, in terms of answering the actual tasks, remember one thing: the pre-seen has barely a 15 to 20% importance in that. The main answer is going to be derived from the exhibits. There will be 4 exhibits that are given to you. Your final answer, the strength of that answer will be derived from the exhibits only, not from the pre-scene. Pre-scene, like I always say, it's like a wrapping paper for the gift. The gift is inside. You, how much time will you keep on looking at the wrapping paper? Now, usko kholna hi padega, and then you will have to attack the exhibits. The questions will be directly based on exhibits, not on the pre-scene. Pre-scene does have a role to play. For example, in the previous case study that we saw, we had to go back to pre-scene, right? There were 3 factors, and then you were comparing them with this company, so you had to go to the pre-scene. But in, say, for example, a question like Corjettes or a question like Yex Marine, there is hardly any role of pre-scene. Even PSS, for that matter, at very little pre-scene ka impact. So, see, I know the concern that you will have as a student. You would want to look at 10 faculty ka pre-scene, 10 institute ka pre-scene. You will ask for notes, and ultimately, when you open your exam paper, you will realize that how less important that was in the overall scheme of things. So don't get too frightened by pre-scene. Don't get too overwhelmed by what kind of information is given to you. Study it, get all the information in place, and go through the notes. So what I'll be sharing with you is a list of notes. It's around like a 60-65 page document जिसमें पूरा analysis has been done. Apart from that, I will also share with you one PDF which contains all the models that are there in the SBL paper. See which of those are applicable, which are not. Here also I have mapped syllabus areas. I have done a detailed analysis of which models are applicable to अपना stakeholders, voters, 5 forces. सारा कुछ हमने यहाँ पे देख लिया है, ठीक है? So don't worry about that. Just focus on getting the information right. And I there are 3 mocks that have already been shared with you, by the way. If you are not already a part of my batches, you can also get your mocks evaluated. This is my number, 7709041555, and this is my email ID. If you want mocks and if you want to get those evaluated, you can drop a message, or you can let me know on this email ID. While the session is on, if you have any questions, feel free to put out your question in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to answer any and every question that you have. Okay. Now let's get down to business. If at any point the screen sharing stops, or you can't see something, you can't understand something, please let me know in the chat box. Okay. Chalo. This is your industry for now. Dennis and Coco is a hairdressing business in Cayman, a developed country with a stable economy. It is the third largest business in the industry in Cayman and has been established for 40 years. Seems like a legacy company to me. Okay. Hairdressing industry, what you have is you have the overview, you have the market structure, then you have staff, training and skills development, different services that are offered in these in the hairdressing business: washing, cutting, perming, coloring, straightening, grooming, all of that. Then you have information about customers, information about pricing and costs, critical success factors in this industry, challenges in the industry, innovation and development parameters that are there right now, and the key performance indicators. Industry body, as in, is there a regulator for hairdressers and for salons and all of that? The industry standards and legislation. Now, and then of course you have information about Dennis and Coco, which is our specific company. Okay, you will get to know about the extent and the spread of their business. Where exactly are they located? How many branches? How many? What is the staff member breakdown and everything? You will get to know about ownership and financing, key stakeholders, board, brand position, services and products offered by them, by this specific entity. Then the service process, very interesting, suppliers and costs, information systems and use of technology, risk. So we'll be looking at the risk perspective from different angles. Then website extracts are given to you, and as always, there's a financial and non-financial information. Now, if you have gone through this information, great. If you haven't had the chance to go through this information, that's also fine. because I will be giving you a detailed analysis of that. Okay. So now if you haven't opened the pre-seen material yet, it's completely okay. All you have to do is you have to focus on the material that I will be sharing on screen. And don't worry, you will get a copy of this on the, I will be sharing this on the WhatsApp group for people who are not, who are watching this video but who don't have my number, or who don't have access to me directly. You can leave a comment here and I will help you. Okay, so just leave a comment. I have already shared my number, so I believe you have everything that you need to know. Now close the, or let's do one thing. You keep the PDF open. You keep the pre-seen PDF open. I am sharing my analysis, and then whatever questions you have, keep on typing those out. Okay. Upload more videos related to PM. Do let me know what videos you want. I'll help you. Okay. But this session is for strategic business leader, not for performance management. And of course, this time my formatting is better as compared to earlier times. So if there is one thing I was excited about, it's the formatting I got done this time. Chalo. So you have to keep yourself engaged and happy, no? तो कुछ ना कुछ तो करना पड़ता है, something new. Okay. So our industry is the hairdressing industry. I know Shobh, अभी तेरा नाम पता है मुझे. Smasher is Shubh Shah. And everyone was asking where is Shubh. So finally we have that answer. तू जो कमेंट्स वर्बली करता है ना, तू लिख के भी करना, हमको भी थोड़ा मजा आएगा. चलो. Now, Dennis and Coco is the name of the company. This is the wheel. First of all, जो 12 पेज का प्री सीन है उसको we'll summarize first. I don't want to call it summary because I've expanded on that. I've made it like an in-depth analysis. Then what we'll be doing is I have checked and gone through all the models in your Kaplan study text and the models on your study hub. I have tried to map different models, like Pestel analysis भी किया है, Porter's 5 forces भी किया है, सारा कुछ किया है. And the third part is basically the exam prep bit. ठीक है. So this pre-scene has three parts, like I told you. The pre-scene summary, which is not a summary, it's an expansion. Then you have the deep dive analysis, where I have looked at models, frameworks, and everything. And then the last part is your exam preparation. Okay, now, Kalen hairdressing industry serves men, women, children. I wouldn't know too much about hairdressing, as you can obviously see. Services are provided in physical premises known as salons by trained hairdressers who are supported by assistants or trainees. These must be, one of your mehenge hair cutting places, not the ones that, we know in Kandivali East, where you just go pay 70 rupees and get a haircut done. This seems like, one of those places where for a haircut, they will charge you, say, some 750 rupees or something. This seems like one of those. Larger salons additionally employ receptionists, and every salon is overseen by a salon manager who divides time between hairdressing and management. तो वो थोड़ा बाल भी काटता है, as you can see. He does some hairdressing work also, and he is responsible for the overall salon management. Kaland is a developed country with a stable economy, and there is a trend towards people wanting to look and feel good. Think about, Maslow's need hierarchy theory. The first expectation is roti kapda makan, and when you have that, then you think about looking better and you wanting to spend money to look better. वो क्या कराते हैं आप लोग ऐसा, pedicure, manicure, जो भी, all of those things. So that, which is fueling growth in the number of hairdressing businesses. There are 259,200 people employed. 1% of the country's Kaland population is cutting people's hair. Over 99% businesses are small independents with less than 10 staff. Think about, hair cutting salon, at the next gully or nukkad in your area. There is no single business which dominates. The top 3 national chains together generate less than 3% of total industry revenue. Now, if you have a question कि ये data कहाँ से उठाया, ये data pre-seen PDF में से उठाया, and I have double checked everything. So don't worry, the numbers are from that very source. ठीक है? But yes, keep on reading, keep the PDF open in front of you. ठीक है? There are three tier of client experience: basic, good, and excellent. The basic package, low level service, small range, basic or little experience. जैसे my case, whenever I go to a hair cutting place, what does the person ask me, क्या करना है? I said, why is this a question? Zero number का machine लो, चला दो, job is done. So I need basic level service. I don't need anything else. Cheap, 100 rupees में काम हो जाता है. ठीक है. Now, good service is slightly upper, slightly more premium. Average skills, which maybe say one of you might get it done once before going for a date or something. Okay, so it's that pleasant, comfortable, and reasonable prices. And maybe Aditya can tell us more about it. And the third one is excellent. Basically, highly skilled and experienced staff, वो शादी वादी में जो लोग हेयर स्टाइल कराते हैं, all of that. High prices. I mean, I know the shadi makeup and hair dressing can go up to 50,000 and lakhs of rupees. Very scary. The three national chains: Halo Hair, 203 salon, good experience; Trims, 85 salon, basic experience; DK 50 DKK 50 salons, excellent experience. DKK is the only chain at the premium tier, top tier customers. Okay. And what all staff do you have? You have hairdressers who provide, जो literally बाल काटते हैं, who supervise and teach trainees also. Then assistants or trainees who are learning the craft may attend college, also wash clients hair and do cleaning, which frees hairdressers from low skill tasks, washing hair, cleaning the premises, all of those activities. Then salon managers split time between management and hairdressing, have training and experience as a hairdresser. In small independent businesses, the salon manager is usually the owner. And then you have receptionists employed only by larger salons and premium salon, not trained as hairdressers, book appointments, greet clients, serve refreshments, take payments, so on and so forth. Basically, welcome drink and all of that, which happens in big places. I once wanted to enter, so I was, I think, at Infinity Malad. I think I was there, and I had some time before the movie, so I went there, and I was so shocked by looking at the prices कि ऐसे एक तो बाल है नहीं, 750 रुपये जीरो नंबर का मशीन लगाने के क्यों दो. सो naturally I came out. I didn't do anything there. Now, training routes, and I think this was specifically made for me. मतलब हर 5 मिनट में मेरा इंसल्ट होना ही चाहिए, उसके सिवा this pre-scene can't function, I think. Okay, so training routes and qualifications exist. Colleges plus on-the-job training in salon, often run by. They are not mandatory. If you get it done, it's great. Then larger chains run their own training academies where the staff is trained. They are given the right formal training before they are put on the job. CPD is continuous professional development, is delivered through chain academies, conferences, and seminars, often run or sponsored by global hair care product brands. All of these shampoo companies that you have, your L'Oreal, and what else is there? Head and Shoulders. That's not the name of the company, but that's the brand basically. So they run these continuous professional development programs. Okay, if you have more practical experience and more training, your skills are better. National and international competitions showcase skills. Winning has a major positive reputational impact. Some hairdressers use social media to showcase skills, engage clients, and promote services. I have seen this very frequently, specific on Insta. There are so many people I know who walk into a salon, they are getting a haircut done, or something done to their face, they take a video, then they tag the salon. All of these activities keep on happening. Now, there are three national chains like we saw. There's Halo Hair, which basically is in the good level service, 203 overall stores. Then you have Trims in the basic category, 85 stores. And then you have DKK in the excellent category, 50 stores. The top three chains have roughly 3% of the total. They have just 3% of the total revenue generation, and remaining everything else is through local chain and independent stores. Okay, the industry is highly fragmented with low barriers to entry. I think there should be some barriers to entry ना, किसी के भी हाथ में You put a pair of scissors और आड़े तड़े बाल काट दिए तो, but of course, who cares? So the three largest national chains together generate less than 3% of industry revenue. Over 98% of businesses have revenue below $5 lakh. ठीक है, you have small independent businesses, single salon up to 10 staff. Over 99% of all businesses, local chains 2 to 4 salon in one town or city or region, like those local chains in your cities also. And then you have national chains, 5 or more salon. Halo Hair trims DKK is us, by the way. Okay. Now, what do the so what all happens? What kind of services are offered in this industry? Let's see. Washing. So washing is, I don't know why this needs an explanation, but it does. Washing plus drying, optional styling with heated tools. What do they call it यार? मैंने कुछ देखा था ऐसा रॉड जैसा कुछ होता है, and maybe something like that. It's supposed to curl your hair or something. Low margins, cutting, trimming, styling hair, low margin, again labor intensive. A person needs to physically work on that. Perming is permanent waves or curls using chemicals. High margin, and downtime allows multi-client, because one person, maybe you put the chemical in his or her hair, the person sits down, maybe it has to be kept applied for maybe an hour, so in that time you can serve another client also. Then coloring, टेम्पररी और परमानेंट डाई, वो रेड वेड नहीं कराते वो सब. हाई मार्जिन, and straightening convert curly to straight using chemicals. Okay, so these two seem to be like opposites of each other. Perming is straight hair को curl करना, and this is the opposite. Okay, how would I know? Grooming is shaving. Yeah, this I do know. Shaving, beard, mustache, and all of that. Again, this is a low margin activity. So your perming, coloring, straightening seems like Amir logo ke shock. This has a high margin. The other three fall into the basic category, so low margin products. Services are often combined. Clients usually book in advance and pay at delivery. Some salons specialize, that is grooming only, or by local demographics. Color specialists in cities with many young people. I think apparently it's a thing these days. Now, single salon businesses and local chains typically run 5 days every week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I wonder who would go into salons at that time. If you are a working professional, you are busy from 9 to 5. So, seems like a challenge, that time. Regional and national chains, often larger salons, may remain open for 6 days a week and work longer hours because they have a bigger customer base to cater to. On an average, 95% of revenue comes from hairdressing services. The remaining 5% comes from retail sale of hair care products and styling tools marketed as professional hairdressing use only, attracting a price premium. वो क्या क्या लगाता है ना, जेल वेल पता नहीं, all of those things. So those styling tools we are talking about. Retail margins are much higher than service margins. Retail revenue boosters, in-store and salon window displays, hairdressers commission, free samples. So the labor-intensive part, where a hairdresser has to be physically present to fix your hair or to cut it or style or whatever, selling products is much more cheaper. And why would I say that? Because you don't have to make an active effort to sell that product. Let's say there is some shaving cream that is being used, or some hair product. If they are using it in front of you, you might want to buy that, because you have a good experience with it. Correct. So those are less effort but high revenue products. Prices vary with the time taken to perform a service, hair length, and the skills, experience, reputation of the hairdresser. Competition winners and high social media following hairdressers command premium. इनके भी business को नहीं छोड़ा social media ने, है ना? So your ability to command a certain price depends upon the social media following that you have, which is why I have been requesting you कि इसमें comment कर देना, so that my work reaches more people. See, I also know how to do a product plugin now. Anyway, the point is that if you are an award-winning hairdresser or you have a good social media following, naturally, you will be considered as an influencer of sorts and you will get more business. Discounted off-peak prices are common. Students, older people, for students and for older people, you do offer they give discounts. Labor is the principal variable cost, averaging 50% of revenue. Excuse me. Other variable costs are hair care products supplied to clients and water charged in Kalen by usage, pani ka meter. And this business, for hair washing and for other services, you will need water. So that also is a variable cost, but it depends from service to service. Haircut may, maybe you just have to sprinkle water, but hair wash may you have to use more water. So it's not as if the variable cost for every service is the same. It will depend upon the water usage. Fixed or overhead costs are rent, lighting, heating, insurance, marketing, retail inventory, and margin by service type. Cutting and grooming are low margin because a hairdresser is involved throughout. Coloring and perming are high margin. Chemicals rest while the hairdresser serves another client. So you can use that time better and deliver the same service to more customers at the same time, because till this person's hair sets, you can go and deal with another person and then again come back. Now, what are the critical success factors? Before we move ahead and analyze critical success factors, can you let me know in the chat box what do you understand by CSF? And can you tell me the difference between CSF and KPI? Chalo, think of it as a quick question. What is a critical success factor and what is KPI? Batao. In your own words. Let me know in the chat section. You have to answer in short. What is a critical success factor? Bataiye. Mr. Shah, can you tell us? These are, the must-do elements for success, such as, superior customer service could be a critical success factor. Technology or technological innovation could be a critical success factor. Or offering high-quality products could also be a critical success factor, right? So a CSF primarily is uh, that aspect, or that parameter on which the success of your organization depends. So superior quality customer service is a critical success factor. KPI, on the other hand, is a key performance indicator. How, using what is the performance judged, basically. Okay, so that is a key performance indicator. Your success is measured using these indicators. They are used to measure the performance, as you correctly pointed out. CSF is, those must do activities for a business which will lead to, which is expected to ultimately lead to success. So industry level CSF is skillful, experienced staff who undertake regular CPD, because their skills need to be updated on a regular basis, specifically in an industry such as this. Why am I saying this line? Because hairstyles evolve, the method to perform styling evolves, which is why which is why continuous professional development would be necessary. Then location in busy areas to attract walk-ins, easy public transport and parking. I think ये easy public transport and parking ना बहुत सारे pre-scene में आता है. Do you agree? If you remember, PSS में भी था, PVS में भी था, काफी सारे इसमें location I think is an important factor. And see, specifically in case of salon, there are times, when you might not even want to get a haircut or a head massage done, but you're walking in a mall and you are tired and you see a hair cutting salon or a grooming center, and grooming center reminds me of my pet dog, because even they have grooming centers, by the way. So Having the right location will bring in customers also. Then ease of public transport parking, of course, that helps. Then salon managers with strong business knowledge who know how to deal with customers, easy to book appointments that start on time. My God, tell that to us Indians. Anything starting on time, very, very difficult for us to achieve. But ease of booking appointments, I have not seen this in the hair cutting salon that I go to, but yes, where I take my dog, they accept appointments online, which makes things very easy for me, by the way. Then transparent pricing, no hidden cost. होता है ना hidden cost का एक example I'll tell you. When joining ACCA course, nobody, so I have seen this a lot these days. कोर्स ज्वाइन करते टाइम कोई बताता नहीं है कि अरे एग्जाम फीस आपको अलग से पे करना पड़ेगा, एंड देन इट कम्स एज अ हिडन कॉस्ट, एंड देन एवरीबody goes crazy after that. But this, they are saying they don't have any hidden cost, so their pricing is very, very transparent. Then high quality hair care products used. If you use, I think मैंने कहीं पे पढ़ा था ammonia free, पता नहीं कुछ और free, some complex words I saw. But good quality hair care products, organic बोलो तो और price you can command from the customers, and strong brand and strong individual hairdresser client relationship. If a hair, हाँ वही वही सब, अभी मुझे नहीं पता, paraben free, okay. I don't know about you, but if I want my beard to be styled, I would prefer that one particular person working in the store. I'm sure you also have had similar experiences. So that also is a critical success factor for any hair cutting salon. What are some of the industry challenges? Very high reputation, very high competition, low barriers to entry, little regulation, low startup cost. ठीक है. So to set up a hair cutting salon, what do you need? You need a chair. I mean, I know this is a joke, but when you are driving on the road, you see these people on the side of the road with a handheld mirror and this one person cutting someone's hair. Even that is the same business, right? It's just not sophisticated like this one. Little regulation, you don't have, a hairdressers act 2014 like companies act 2013. ऐसे कोई rules and regulations नहीं है, which makes which lowers the barriers to entry and increases the overall competition level in the market. Substitution, DIY hair care with cheap retail dyes plus YouTube tutorials. ये YouTube ने तो सबका बैंड बजा के रखा है, including us, including everyone, by the way. Who would want to go and pay for something which is actually available for free? I Cooking classes का business, for example, I'm sure has, unless it's very specialized cooking, 99% चीजें तो YouTube पे समझ में आ जाती है ना. Through reels also you get to know about it. Same thing they are saying. You might not be able to cut your hair, but you can groom your beard, or color वलर आप लगा सकते हो apparently. Staff shortages is a big challenge. Staff shortage का challenge यार अभी हमने एक और I think PVS में देखा था ना. PVS had the same issue. PVS वाला case study. More than 50% of businesses have unfilled vacancies. HR ने काम नहीं किया होगा, ऐसे भी क्या ही काम करती है बेचारी. So there are 50% of the vacancies have not been filled so far. ठीक है. Then many hairdressers leave to set up their own businesses. Fewer people entering the industry. See, again, they have the same problem. Fewer people entering the industry, shortage of assistants. Gen Z होंगे तो बोलेंगे assistant का job नहीं करेंगे, सीधा celebrity के बाल काटने दो, that kind of a situation. So you don't have assistants because they might consider it like a low paying or a low level job. You don't have too many people entering the business and which entering the industry, and in general more than 50% of the business have unfilled vacancies. मतलब हेयर कटिंग सालों के बाहर लाइन लगा है बाल काटने को, you don't have enough people. Right now, roughly 75% of the salons still use paper booking system. Double bookings and no shows are a huge challenge. No show मतलब आपने appointment book किया and you never went. You did not show up for that. I mean, this happens यार कि घर पे कोई आ गया, you can't go, or so there is a change of plans and you don't go. So I gave a slot to someone, that person didn't turn up, but because I had already given a slot to someone, I denied service to someone else. तो वो भी गया, ये भी गया, दोनों से पैसा नहीं आया. ठीक है. डबल बुकिंग, समटाइम्स पीपल डू दिस कि यार आई थिंक आई कैन गो टू द salon at 11 but I think maybe if I get late मुझे बाद में जाना पड़ सकता है, so they book an appointment for 11 also, they book an appointment for 12 also. So double booking भी होता है. Business illiterate managers, many owners managers have a hairdressing business. They have a business background but they might not know how hairdressing industry works. I mean यार, ये chat gpt AI के ज़माने में तो ये बहुत बड़ा problem है. In fact, I know of so many people who have no understanding of the business, who have no understanding of what they are doing. Chat gpt से देख देख के solution दे रहे हैं. Now it will work for some time but ultimately it is going to ultimately bomb in your face at some time. Till what extent will you depend upon AI, so to say? Then business illiterate managers, मैं इस पे ज्यादा कमेंट नहीं करूंगा, किसी और दिन, and definitely not on camera. Then revenue volatility with economic conditions directly affects how much and how often clients spend. ये वाला हालत हो गया तो मेरे तरफ से तो इनको बिजनेस मिलने से रहा, right? Also, depending upon the overall economic condition or the amount of disposable income in your pocket, that might have an impact on how many hair cutting appointments do you book, right? High environmental impact, ये आजकल हर जगह पे आ जाता है. ESG impact, right? Only 20% of waste is recycled. Hazardous chemicals, enormous water and electricity use, significant CO2 emissions. अब see, there is most of these salons, they probably don't even know anything about ESG. They don't know anything about environmental protection. So they are using these chemicals, they are cutting people's hair, and they are not even disposing it off properly. So it is entering the water supply systems and all of that. So naturally, the environmental impact is going to be significant. When we do stakeholder analysis, I think this will come in very handy. In this specific space, what are the innovations and developments in this particular sector? Eco-friendly and sustainable products increasingly demanded by clients. ये Gen Z वाले होंगे, है ना? Vegan, पता नहीं और क्या क्या, सब organic और कुछ कुछ लगाते हो ना आप लोग. So all of those things. Then so there's a shift from chemical based products to more eco-friendly products. Online booking systems, like I told you, हमारे डॉग के इसमें उनके ग्रूमिंग सेंटर में ऑनलाइन बुकिंग इज पॉसिबल, मेरा नहीं हो पाता है. ठीक है. इट रिमूव्स द रिस्क ऑफ डबल बुकिंग्स, एसएमएस रिमाइंडर्स रिड्यूस नो शोज. I get at least 7 to 8 calls when I have to take the dogs to the vet कि तुम्हारा अपॉइंटमेंट है, तुम्हारा अपॉइंटमेंट है. So the risk of no show is reduced. Salon management software combines inventory, client info, scheduling. Augmented reality, client previews hairstyle before committing. I saw this. I have not seen this with respect to a hairstyle, obviously, but I have seen this on Lenskart for different spectacles and all of that. You upload a picture and you can see how those glasses fit to you and whether that style appears nice or not, whatever it is. And so any entity which basically offers this kind of service, people will be attracted more because instead of having a terrible experience later, it's easier for them to see what it might look like and then make a decision. Then social media and online loyalty programs, reward schemes to attract and retain clients. I think ये तो मैंने कहीं बहुत जगह पे देखा है कि you tag us on your social media and you will get 10% off or something. आजकल कुछ भी करते हैं. And I will not say anything because next पता चला मुझे ही करना पड़ रहा है ऐसा कुछ. चलो. Now what are industry KPIs? How do you measure performance and how do you define the gold standard? What are the industry bodies and legislation? First KPI is appointment booking rate. Hours booked divided by hours available. Total available is number of hairdressers into hours worked. So what is the staff members that you have? Multiply that with the number of hours. Revenue per appointment hour booked, where retail is sold, split into hairdressing services revenue per booked hour and retail services revenue per booked hour. Retail services it will also include the products in the retail category, shampoos and all of that, uska bhi kitna sale hua when a customer walks in, and the revenue you book for the time that he spends with you. So if I go and get a haircut and a beard trimming and all of that done, तो 30 minutes देके कितना revenue, और 1 hour देके how much revenue can you generate. Then client retention rate, percentage of clients at the start of a period who return for another service by end of the period. So, as we were discussing, you have a sense of loyalty with the person who cuts your hair or styles your beard. So, you keep on going back to the same person. So, that basically talks about the client retention rate. Start of the period who return for another service by end of the period. So, साल के starting में, if there were 10 customers who were attached with you, and my brother would travel like 7 kilometers or maybe more, I think half an hour, because he had his loyalty with a hairdresser who knew exactly how he wanted his beard style. So if you can judge how that loyalty part works there. Then staff satisfaction, various methods used across the industry, but ये बहुत बड़ा झूठ है, by the way. You have all these great place to work survey, सब rigged होता है, by the way, but ठीक है, at least you can put a certificate out there. Industry body, uh, I have been loyal with my barber for, wow, Shubh, that's longer than most relationships. 10 years? Very good. तू 10 years पहले था भी क्या? चलो आगे का देखो, ये अलग ही चलता। चलो, हाउ कम साहिल, यू आर इन द पेपर ना, ऐसे ही आया ना, ही इज राइटिंग SBR, विच इज व्हाई आई आस्क्ड, इसका SBL निकल गया है, पर चलो अच्छा है। Shubh Shah claims he's 23. We'll have to check his Aadhaar card for that. By the way, I have students who have told me कि fake Aadhaar card भी बनवा सकते हैं, तो you can't trust anything. Definitely not the employee surveys. I was watching your SBR video, तो देखा आप लाइव हो, चलो अच्छा है यार, आ गए क्लास में. Then, what is the industry body here? Hairdressing Standards Association, independent industry created body which aims to raise standards and improve professionalism. It does this by running the Kalen Hair Salon Register. Salons are rated registered, good, very good, excellent. Excellent demands very high skilled hairdressers. मैंने ना I saw this, कहाँ पे देखा मैंने ये, urban company में, when you are making a booking na, they give you like basic service and then royal service or something, so maybe those, for that you need people with more skills. Business size does not affect ratings. HSA reviews ratings regularly. Then providing qualifications offered in college courses and chain training academies, hosting the annual HSA hairdressing exhibition, uh, key influencers, celebrity hairdressers, and all of that. HSA salon ratings, the chain, most Halo salons are rated very good. Trims salon tend to be rated good. All DKK are treated excellent, rated excellent. What is the legislation? Industry is unregulated. Thank God for that. No statutory licensing requirements for businesses or hairdressers. इसमें क्या ही होगा यार, मतलब this is not Companies Act ना at the end of the day. Hairdressers must comply with employment, health and safety, consumer protection, competition and data protection legislations. इंडिया में करवा दो हेयर कटिंग सालों में डेटा प्रोटेक्शन, उनको खुद का नाम नहीं पता. Plus local government permits, yes, this you need. Allergy tests are legally required before certain products are first used on a client. I think apparently before applying hair dye and all, they test it on your skin first, and then if it works, you can use it. So yeah, that's another regulation. Otherwise, कुछ जल वल गया तो सीधा केस हो जाएगा. And the National Hairdressing Union represents most industry staff. So it's like a trade union kind of a thing. Okay, so this was information about the sector that you are operating in. Any questions so far? I hope you have it open in front of you. Only Shubh Shah is answering, as always. Others, मुझे 45-48 लोग तो दिखते हैं यार, ऑल्दो आई कांट सी देयर नेम्स। आप बता दो कोई क्वेश्चन होगा तो। वैसे एसबीएल में डाउट आया तो मतलब मुझे भी डर लगेगा हाँ थोड़ा सा। यस, ऐश्वर्या इज ऑल्सो आंसरिंग, एवरीवन इज आंसरिंग, गुड। सो ओके, हाँ एसबीएल में डाउट आया तो जेन्युइनली है, इसमें डाउट आने वाला कुछ होता नहीं है वैसे। एंड एसबीएल आई डोंट वांट टू discourage you or give you any wrong notions, but SBL as a subject, you don't really have to prepare for this the same way you prepare for other papers, हाँ। तो यहाँ पे नंबर को लेके कैलकुलेशन को लेके मत बैठना। Like, isn't the revenue so less for 98% of the industry? Yes, it is. And this could be a good point, by the way, when we do our financial analysis later. Acha, apart from this, if you have any points, feel free to put those in the chat box. Also remember one thing, ये मैंने बैठ के मेरा एनालिसिस किया है, राइट? दिस इज माय वे ऑफ लुकिंग एट द करंट सिचुएशन, बट you could have a different perspective on the same thing, and which is totally understandable. So if you have a different point of view, make sure that you are discussing that with me right now. Okay, now I'm opening the original document, and let's see if you guys have anything else that you would want to add to this. Just give me 1 second. Yes. Chalo, we'll come to this information. Chalo. So we looked at the industry, we looked at the market structure, number of people employed, the quality of service. There's a question. Do you think the time allowed in the exam is sufficient for the paper, or do we need to? Of course, you need to plan every paper effectively, no doubt about it. But I think the mocks will give you a fair enough idea, by the way, in terms of how that time has to be managed. Okay, we looked at the different levels of service, the pricing, then halo, then trims, and DKK, we looked at that as well. Then types of staff, training and skill development, CPD, continuous professional development, ये हमने usually directors and NEDs और उस सब के इसमें हम usually देखते हैं. Then services that are offered, timings, pricing and cost, all of that we have summarized it. Ki, influential hairdressers and all of that, they can charge more. Variable cost of delivering includes material हो गया, water हो गया, all of that. Excuse me. We looked at critical success factors, then challenges within the industry. एक बार ये देखो तो, look at the challenges wala part and make a note of challenges that you perceive, and then we'll take it back to my sheet, and we'll see if I have missed out on any point. मुझे पता है एग्जैक्टली 40 मिनट के बाद 4:30 को शुभ शाह मैसेज करेगा, सर अभी थोड़ा थक गए, 15 मिनट का ब्रेक दो। डोंट वरी, मैं दे दूंगा ब्रेक, है ना मिस्टर शाह? बोलने वाला था ना ये। पहले ये देखो, थोड़ा सा आप भी दिमाग लगा लो। इफ आई हैव मिस्ड आउट ऑन एनीथिंग, योर जॉब टू टेल मी. Make a note, tell me if you want me to scroll. we'll I'll scroll down to that part. Let me know in the chat box if you have anything. I'm not added to my WhatsApp, so could you please you message me on this email ID or on this number. ठीक है, I'll add you. देखो देखो क्या क्या लिखा है वहां पे, सो मत जाना. हाई लेवल ऑफ कंपटीशन है, और then good quality hair care products are not cheap, they are expensive. Individuals can use them on internet, so that has become like a, you know, the DIY kit can be a problem. Then three quarters of salons still use paper systems, and basically appointment related challenges. Operational efficiency hai, or rather operational efficiency is negatively impacted by lack of business awareness. The industry revenue is volatile and dependent on economic conditions. ठीक है? I mean, we have all of these points have been covered. Huge environmental impact, innovation and development. I see some point here. Wages or salaries given to employees is quite less, which eventually leads to employees leaving and starting their own business. The second part is correct. Where exactly did you read, Mr. Shah, that wages or salaries given to the employee is quite less? बोलो, ऐसा लिखा है कहीं पे स्पेसिफिकली दैट सैलरीज आर लेस? लिखा होगा. सी, मैं इतने पिछले 2 हफ्ते में इतने प्री सीन देख चुका हूं ना कि देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी आई माइट एंड अप मिस इंटरप्रेटिंग और लेस इंटरप्रेटिंग अ पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट. एक आधा पॉइंट छूट सकता है, तो आपको लिखा होगा तो मुझे बताना पेज नंबर, लाइन नंबर. यस, दिस इज इंडिकेटेड डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द डेटा. इट वाज जस्ट इंटरप्रिटेशन. आपने उल्टा दिमाग लगाया ना, कोई भी लगाएगा कि वाई आर पीपल लिविंग एंड स्टार्टिंग देयर ओन बिजनेस, कि किसी और के पास पढ़ाऊंगा तो एक्स अमाउंट कमाऊंगा, खुद का क्लासेस शुरू करूंगा तो ज्यादा पैसा मिलेगा, राइट? सो यू ट्रेस्ड इट उल्टा. व्हाई डिड आई स्टार्ट माय ओन बिजनेस? बिकॉज माय एम्प्लॉयर वाज पेइंग मी लेस. That is a deduction. But is that given to us directly in the question? The answer is no. Remember this thing in your SBL paper. I'm just attaching the charger. मैं मेरा मुंह चलता रहेगा, आप सुनते रहना, ठीक है? I'm just getting up to pick my charger. Remember one thing in not just SBL, in any other paper for that matter, you might see, you will apply your mind कि इस situation में this is the only logical conclusion, or this might be, or this has to be the only reason why the prices have fallen, or this might be the only reason why something else has not worked, and you are right in your analysis. ठीक है, आपका analysis गलत नहीं है. But remember one thing, information that is not given in the data directly should not find a way in your answer sheet. अपने मन से कुछ भी नहीं लिखना है. ये मैसेज का ये मतलब होगा, ये अपने सिग्निफिकेंट अदर्स वाले मैसेजेस में दिमाग लगाना कि ओ शी हैज रिटन दिस बट दिस इज व्हाट इट मींस. दिस SBL pre-scene is not your girlfriend or boyfriend. तो जो लिखा है बस उतना ही मीनिंग है उसका, ठीक है? कुछ और निकालने जाओगे ना, गड़बड़ हो जाएगा फाइनल एग्जाम में. सो लेट्स नॉट हैव दैट मिस्टेक हैपनिंग एवर. ठीक है, किसी भी पेपर में, हाँ, नॉट जस्ट दिस. APM AAA इन पेपर्स में ज्यादा होता है बिकॉज थियोरी बेस्ड पेपर्स है. सो डोंट मेक दैट मिस्टेक, ठीक है? कम बैक. वी लुक्ड एट KPIs calculated as appointment hours booked as a proportion of appointment hours available. दिन में you have 10 hours available and 8 hours are booked, so that is 80% booking rate. Then industry body, industry standards and regulation. If a question has skepticism marks, then can we do these things? No, even when it is skepticism means not asking any question. Skepticism is having a questioning mind with respect to data that is given to you, which means not accepting data at its face value. If you are accepting data at its face value, that is where you are losing out on skepticism. Professional skepticism means सामने वाले ने कुछ भी बोला उसको accept नहीं करने का. I tell you for example that I had rank 1 in SBL exam. Don't accept it at face value. Ask me for supporting information. Ask me for a copy of the certificate. Ask me for the official letter from ACCA. So when you are questioning the validity of assumptions, or when you are questioning the correctness of data, you are not accepting anything at its face value. That is when you are demonstrating skepticism. When you are answering SBL, आपको ना अपने मन से पेपर नहीं लिखना है. Please keep that in mind. डीप डाइव का ये मतलब नहीं है कि आप अपने मन के थॉट्स उसमें डालो कि अरे हेयर ड्रेसिंग बिजनेस इज नॉट टेकिंग ऑफ बिकॉज देयर इज अ क्राइसिस इन द स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मोज, और ये सब नहीं करना है. डीप डाइविंग का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप उसमें इमेजिनेटिव स्टोरीज क्रिएट करो. डीप डाइविंग का मतलब है जो डेटा आपको दिया है उसी को आपको इंटरप्रेट करना है. Deep diving doesn't mean creating hypothetical situations. What I tell you in other papers, the very same thing I'm telling you here. No hypothetical situations. अपने मन से आपको कुछ भी नहीं लगाना है. You will end up losing marks for that, huh? You will end up losing more than half of the marks if you apply your own. Don't apply your mind in that sense. In fact, SBL, I would say, is not a creative paper in that sense. जो डेटा दिया है बस उसी को आपको ब्रेक डाउन करना है. अगर आपने अपने मन से कुछ भी किया, यू आर इन फॉर अ बिग चैलेंज. वो फिर 50 के नीचे ही चला जाएगा आपका स्कोर डायरेक्टली. ठीक है. डेनिस एंड कोको, यू कैन सी माई स्क्रीन राइट? यस यू कैन. डेनिस एंड कोको is a 40-year-old hairdressing chain in Kalen, providing a premium level of service. It is the third largest business in the industry, started by Dennis and Coco, husband and wife, who met working in the. ये सब बताने का जरूरत नहीं था वैसे. Who met working in the same salon. उनका love story बता रहे time pass. It has grown organically and through acquisition of individual salons and small chains. The founders have retired, but Dennis remains as non-executive chair. He is the CEO, but he is the chairperson, not the CEO. He is the chairperson, does not participate in the day-to-day activities. That way, he has retired. 40-year-old chain है, so legacy business है. ठीक है. Now, how are things on 31st of March? You have 50 salons across Kalen. There are 390 hairdressers, 155 assistants and trainees. You have 60 receptionists, 62 head office staff, and 667 total operational staff. So salon, then HO, सब जगह पे मिला के you have 667 operational level workers. Then so these might not be skilled workers. Like hairdressers are skilled workers. These are not skilled workers. Dennis and Coco are the majority shareholders. Remaining shares held by family members and several other private individuals. Company is not listed on the Kalen Stock Exchange. If you look at the shareholding pattern, what do you see? Mostly holding is within the family, है ना? And by other private individuals. So I don't see any institutional investor here. Governance is stated to be consistent with good corporate governance, but the directors chose not to have audit, nomination, or remuneration committees. This is likely to be an issue later. How can you be consistent with good corporate governance if you don't have these basic committees? The internal auditor reports to finance director. Now, हमने 8 questions किए हैं, if you have noticed. ये इशू एक और जगह पे आया है. Do you recollect? Same problem. Internal auditor reports to finance director. So what is the problem when the internal auditor reports to finance director? Internal auditor is basically auditing the processes, auditing the systems, auditing the functioning of the entity. Okay, he is doing that. And then he is highlighting the issues. He should be an independent person, right? He should not be reporting to the finance director, because finance director is responsible for preparation of ultimately the final authority, so to say, or finally responsible for preparation of financial statements. So issues in his work you are highlighting to him, and then he is or reviewing that work. So एक self review threat यहाँ पे create हो जाता है ना? Then who are the stakeholders as per our pre-scene? shareholders, board of directors, staff, most belong to the union, clients, suppliers, hairdressing standards association, government, national and local, local communities, national hairdressing union, NHU. ठीक है. अब you have Dennis, who is the co-founder. He is the non-executive chair. Then you have the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, Creative Director, Finance Director, Operations Director, Marketing Director, HR Director. ये दो रंगोली बनाती है. Then Operations Director में Region 1 Manager, Region 2 Manager, 3, 4, 5, all of them report to the Operations Director. Operations मतलब he is running the show on a regular basis. ठीक है. Then you have your salon managers for each region, and within that region if you have 10 salons, then each salon has his or her, मतलब हर salon का एक manager होगा. No audit remuneration committee because the company is not listed. Internal auditor reports to finance director. There is an independent concern. Ideally he should be reporting to audit committee. DKK's board reports through 5 functional directors. Operations director oversees 5 regions, each with a regional manager who controls salon managers closely. Low autonomy at salon manager level, because if there is close supervision, तो salon manager को independent decisions लेना शायद it will be difficult for him. ठीक है. Now, by the way, we are only summarizing the information. We look at the board structure in depth, हम सारा चीज देखेंगे properly, but right now we are just the data that was given to us, we are just breaking it down. The brand position, the founders deliberately targeted a gap in the market for a premium offering, more luxurious than was available elsewhere. The pillars of differentiation are luxurious salon with premium facilities in prime locations and wealthy neighborhoods. Okay, high quality personalized client service, expert hairdressers, mandatorily holding the full HSA qualification complement with high CPD standards, which are evaluated and checked every 12 months. Exclusive product partnerships with prestigious brands like a head and shoulders and L'Oreal, and all of these companies which are considered as market leaders in that particular segment. So product partnerships are there. So the 4 pillars which in a way differentiate this company from the others. Okay. DKK is the most well-known premium hairdressing brand in Kalen with strong loyalty. Clients come from the wealthiest demographic. ठीक है. पैसे वाले लोग who don't mind spending 1100 for a haircut, making DKK more recession resilient than most hairdressing businesses. Why would I say that recession resilient? जो अमीर लोग हैं जैसे शुभ शाह for example, even if the economy is going through a downturn, he doesn't mind spending 1100 rupees for a haircut. उसे चलता है. So most of the people are like that in the client base. However, an expanding regional chain and an increasing number of individual salons are now replicating some or all of DKK's offerings. See, naturally, this is going to happen at कार आपके पास है, मैं तो मेरे पास 5 कार है. शुभ, मर्सिडीज भी है. आ दिल्ली फिर घुमाता हूं तुझे मैं. Now, so यार ये लड़का मुझे सब भुला देता है. इधर देखो. So yes, we have these kind of rich customers going there, which is why even if a recession comes, ये तो भाई haircut पे खर्चा करेगा, है ना? Expanding regional chain and increasing number of individual salons are now replicating some or all of DKK's offering. Your competitive advantage is going to be replicated by someone at some point of time or the other, right? People will know what sets you apart and they will do the thing which made you a market leader in the first place. Okay? Or I wouldn't know, Kesha, but that's a very interesting question. Are these real life case studies? If at all they are, I have never been able to identify a real life पैरेलल टू दिस, मुझे कभी नहीं मिला आज तक, बट आई एम श्योर हो सकता है। या फिर आजकल काम करता कौन है, सब तो एआई ही करवाते हैं। मे बी दैट इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल, हु नोस। एनीवे, नाउ ओपनिंग आवर्स आर 9 to 5 मंडे टू सैटरडे। मैं तो कभी ना जाऊँ यार, मेरे पास तो टाइम ही नहीं है 9 to 5। Free in-depth pre-appointment consultations for new clients cited as a reason for excellent HSA ratings. Regular clients have shorter consultations at the start of their appointment. No walk-ins are accepted. You have to take a prior appointment here. All salons offer the full service range, staff members and skill mix similar across all 50. Marketing literature mentions haircuts tailored to specific hair types and textures, customized coloring, perming and straightening with greatest care. My God, इतना टाइम किसके पास है यार? Marketing literature mentions, oh, basically they are talking about, वो brochures वगैरह नहीं होते हैं, या they put posters, और I have seen this in some of the bigger salons, like hotel में जैसा menu card होता है, वैसे they also literally have a menu card, where they mention all of these things, कि hair cut का कितना, perming का कितना, and all of that. Retail products are popular. Client trust hairdresser recommendations, even though there is no commission. Non-clients also visit DKK salon to purchase product. Okay, now here retail products are popular. Clients trust hairdresser recommendation, even though there is no commission. See, if a dentist recommends a toothpaste brand, I am more likely to listen to his suggestion, because I would think, yaar, isse behtar who would know about, you know, how to take care of your teeth, right? Similarly, if a hairdresser is recommending a particular shampoo, I'm more likely to use it, because it's coming from an expert, so to say. Then there are two exclusivity contracts with very large international suppliers, one for hair care product, one for styling tools. These items can only be sold in Kalen by DKK. Branded uniforms, towels, and robes are sourced from an overseas supplier. Okay, so uniforms and all of these things are purchased from an overseas supplier. You have exclusivity for two, one for hair care product of an international supplier, and another one for styling tools. Like your क्या बोलते हैं, डायसन वाइसन करके कुछ होता है ना, all of those things, equipment basically. Then DKK owns some salon buildings but rents most. Salons are deliberately similar in size, layout, decoration, and fixture. Like every MACD looks similar, they want their salons also to look similar. Refurbishment cycle every 3 years, replacing fixtures, repainting, redecorating. Luxury reception areas, clients will come by receptionist, offered refreshments, can browse retail. Refurbishment cycle, I don't know, SBR मेरा इतना सिस्टम में घुसा है ना, I can only think of component depreciation when I read refurbishment cycle. Service process flow, appointments booked in person or on phone, not through an online channel. New clients only pre-appointment consultation plus pre-appointment patch test where relevant. ठीक है? I do. Common sense, yeah, but that's quite ironical, as you correctly pointed out. देखता हूं ना मैं घर के बाहर उतना। चलो, इसको देखो अभी। Clients are welcome, then there is existing client short consultation at the start of an appointment. पता नहीं क्या पूछते होंगे, like when you go to slightly high end restaurants, they ask you, right, do you have an allergy to anything? So that part. Then product recommendations by hair in salon experience, cut, color, perm, straighten, groom. Product recommendation by hairdresser, and then checkout, payment plus retail. So card swipe karo, payment karo, whatever it is. Guys, it's extremely hot here in Delhi. I need some water. Okay? You have a look at the information technology bit. I'll be back in a minute and then we'll continue. ठीक है? ये screen बंद नहीं होता, आपको देखना पड़ेगा. I'm putting this on mute. Just read the IT systems part. यार इसका यही एक प्रॉब्लम है लाइफ का, कैमरा बंद नहीं होता है। चलो, आईटी सिस्टम्स एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, पेपर बेस्ड अपॉइंटमेंट सिस्टम्स, ठीक है, is there in the industry also. It's a huge disadvantage. Computerized client records are required. आगे एक कब, ओके मिस्टर शाह, सेकंड ब्रेक में यही करेंगे, ठीक है। Then manual inventory records, Salon email HO, Salon emails HO, and then HO places order with suppliers. Maybe because you need a head office approval before placing the order, or maybe it could be possible for the head office to, like, let's say there is salon in location A, and then there's another one in location B. Salon A requires something, it mails HO that this material is required, please place an order. But maybe that material is available with salon B in excess. So it can facilitate the transfer of material internally. But right now it maintains manual inventory records, so the records might not be updated real time. And then limited social media activity by individual salon focused on highlighting hairdresser skills. You will, if you want that presence, then naturally your activity on social media has to increase. The key risks as per pre-seen: competition from existing and new businesses. We discussed there are extreme low barriers to entry. So new businesses will keep on coming and going. See, even our business, by the way, for that matter, you don't need a license to do this particular activity, right? So anybody can enter the business, and all you need is a laptop. A friend asked me, beach mein, ki, what do you need? I said, I need a laptop and I need an internet connection. That's pretty much all. Okay. Then, lack of suitably skilled and experienced staff. I think this is a problem across industries. Damage to reputation, health and safety incident. वो रॉड वॉड लगा के किसी के बाल जल गए, तो naturally that's a reputation loss. And these days people will immediately post that particular issue on social media, and you can only imagine the kind of damage it can do to you if you have not been careful with if you have not been careful with the with handling the customers and that specific part of it. Okay. Then sustainability concerns of clients, with more and more customers becoming environmentally conscious and aware of their rights and overall expectations, we might face challenges later in terms of disposal of waste, in terms of other sustainability areas also. Then availability and price of products supplied under the exclusivity contracts, you might end up with a lot of financial risk or legal and litigation risk here. We'll be discussing this point separately in the risk analysis part. And then limited use of social media is also a challenge. It is something which is preventing you from reaching your full potential in terms of revenue. The mission of DKK, as taken from the website, is to provide our clients with an indulgent and luxurious hairdressing experience while creating for them a hairstyle as individual and stunning as they are. My God, इतनी बकवास कौन करता है? Of course, businesses do this kind of nonsense. But by the way, if you look at this mission statement, it's a very long mission statement. Indulgent and luxurious hairdressing experience. Okay, first part, creating hairstyle as individual and stunning, which basically means customized hairstyles they are creating. So they are working on that. Then Dennis and Coco brand evokes the very best in hairdressing. This is where they visualize themselves. And what are some of the values that the organization stands by? Commitment, integrity, citizenship, happiness, sustainability. ठीक है, we surpass expectations every time. So whatever is the promise or the commitment to the client, you end up delivering more than that. Being honest and transparent in your dealings, specifically with price and services offered. Then conducting those tests for chemicals and all of that, that also speaks to how clear and transparent they are intending to be. We care about the communities in which we live and work, so giving back to the society, that is one of their values. Then happiness, we aim to make our clients and each other happy. Okay, that sounds like, you know, some Hindi serial ka tagline, but anyway. And then sustainability, we are intent on protecting the natural environment. Okay, now financial and non-financial KPI dashboard. See, here this whatever color this is, yellow ke aaspas ka color, that is total cost, and then this is revenue. Okay, and this basically speaks about the level of operating profit. Now, if you observe the difference, 16 minus 3.2, 16.6 minus 13.6, do one thing now for me, calculate operating profit and calculate the ratio operating profit upon revenue. You have the figures, right? So in 2001, revenue is 16, cost is 13.2. Chalo, one of you, Kesha, can you calculate the operating profit ratio here? 16 minus 13.2 upon 16. ठीक है, have a look and tell me. चैट बॉक्स में बताना है, ठीक है. 17.5. Okay. Now, Gwyneth, next year बताइए. 16.6 minus 13.6 upon 16.6. ठीक है, calculate that. Okay. For the third year, 14.2 is the cost, 17.4 is the revenue. Okay. Then 15.1 is the cost, 18.5 is the revenue in the fourth year. ठीक है. You guys can see my screen, right? Yeah. Because I got an error message here. So trying to figure that out. आप calculate करो last year का. I'll just see what the error message is about. यार आई एम गेटिंग दिस मैसेज. एक बार कोई चेक करो ना, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस. यू नो मी एंड माय challenges with technology. I don't know what that is. Okay. Then this is the margin trend. The margin has fallen in the last year. Client retention rate has seen a sharp decline after the third year. Then staff satisfaction levels are falling marginally each year. And then this is the revenue mix. Okay, so percentage of revenue. So this is from sale of retail, the golden box, and the blue box is hairdressing services. Three diverging signals in 20x5, revenue still growing, margin compressing, retention and staff satisfaction is falling. Together, these suggest the start of a strategic drift. Okay, uh, and we'll analyze that in the second part. Okay. So in part B, we'll understand the strategic drift, because you see, dheere dheere, you are moving away from. There are certain changes that we can observe. We'll analyze that in part B, where we look at, you know, where we basically look at different models and their application to this case study. Okay. Chalo, we have been and their application to this case study. Okay. Chalo, we have been studying for the last 90 minutes. Okay. It's 4:25. Let's take a quick break, come back in 15 minutes, and then we'll move on to part B, where we are applying different models and applying to this scenario. ठीक है 15 मिनट में आ जाओ वापस. Chalo, back. So, what do you do in your break? I to take a short 10-minute nap. Chalo, let's continue. Now we'll do a deep dive into this company and this industry using various models that are applicable. ठीक है. अब इसका simultaneously using the exact same stream key. How to solve this? I don't know now. Chalo. Can you see my screen? Not yet, I guess. Now, we understand the mission, the vision, the values, and how to are these aligned. Okay. So, an organization's stated mission, vision, and values are meaningful only insofar as evidence in the pre-scene supports them. यहाँ पे again, you will have to ensure that you don't add your interpretation to things. ठीक है? What is the company's mission? Indulgent, luxurious experience, individualized, stunning hairstyles. ठीक है? What is the evidence in pre-scene? Excellent HSA rating across all 50 salon, in-depth consultation, सालों का रिफर्बिशमेंट हो रहा है every 3 years. The reception area is luxurious. So largely delivered on service quality, but retention fell in 2005. This is an early warning that somewhere you are not able to achieve your mission. What is the vision? DKK evokes the very best in hairdressing. ठीक है, this is the vision key. When anybody talks about DKK, it should give you the best experience. It should bring one thing to the forefront, that you are working with the best. Okay. Now, most well-known premium brand in Kalen, but a regional chain and independents are increasingly replicating the offering. Okay, so company is well known, but people are trying to replicate that. It has been able to achieve this historically, but at the vision might be at risk right now because competitors are closing in the gap. What are some of the values? Commitment, integrity, citizenship, happiness, and sustainability. ठीक है, commitment means surpassing expectations every time. You have excellent HSA ratings, but retention fell, customer retention fell, staff satisfaction fell. Every time is not currently true. That every time you are surpassing expectations, this is not the case. Then talking about integrity, honest and transparent with clients and each other, no specific evidence of dishonesty, but absent audit, nomination, remuneration committee, and the internal auditor reporting to the finance director are governance weaknesses. So, somewhere on a structural level, integrity front पे issue है. ठीक है. Then citizenship, you care about communities in which you live and work. There are no CSR initiatives explicitly mentioned. Local laundry contracts do not support local businesses. There is only limited evidence. Okay, you need more evidence on the fact that you are committed to the betterment of the society in which you operate. Then happiness, make clients and each other happy. I don't know how you make each other happy. Falling client retention 80.5% in 2005 and staff satisfaction 83 suggests that both clients and staff are getting less happy by the day. So this is not being achieved right now. And sustainability, this is also one of the values that you are talking about. Protect the environment. Industry is only 20% recycling, hazardous chemicals, no explicit DKK sustainability KPI or initiatives. It is stated, but you don't have any evidence whether the organization is able to deliver on the sustainability front. अब ये मैंने कहाँ से check किया? I noted down the values from the website extract. ठीक है? And then I started checking कि do I have any proof of integrity? Do I have any proof of sustainability? So basically, I'm trying to evaluate these points from all possible angles, but I am saying achieved only if I have a strong evidence. If I have no evidence, I'm stating that. I'm not stating not achieved. Okay? सो इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू नो कि अगेन सी, मैं यहाँ पे कोई अपने एंड से स्टेटमेंट नहीं कर रहा हूँ कि यार है या नहीं है. आई एम नॉट मेकिंग एन अजम्पशन. इफ इट इज नॉट देयर, आई एम स्पेसिफिकली मेंशनिंग दैट इट इज नॉट देयर. ठीक है. सस्टेनेबिलिटी, that is protection of the environment, 4 on 10. See, now these are scores that I have given. Okay. uh, it's not necessary, so these are not mentioned anywhere. This is my take on things. Here you have 20% industry recycling, but there is no evidence that the company is doing more on the sustainability front. So on a score of 10, I would give it 4. ये मेरा number है. It could be different. This is like no कोई ऐसा formula नहीं है इसके लिए. Then citizenship, care for communities, 4 on 10. There is no evidence of CSR activity in the pre-seen material. Maybe exhibit में होगा, so you will have to marry the two together. Then the happiness front, makes clients and staff happy, 5 on 10. Staff satisfaction is not zero, मतलब एकदम negative भी नहीं है, but it has fallen down from 85.5 to 83%. So I've given it a 5 on 10. Integrity, there is no clear unethical behavior, but yes, you don't have certain committees that were required. Audit committee, remuneration committee, ये सब नहीं है. तो there is a deficiency. बहुत 100% workable नहीं है, but right now there are certain challenges here. Then, talking about integrity, we give it a 7 on 10, and commitment surpass every time. Right now, it's a 6 on 10. The retention ratio has fell. See, it's still very good. Okay, it's not as if retention ho nahi raha hai, but it's not how it was earlier. So naturally, there is a deficit or a deficiency here. This is a self-assessment score. When asked about culture, ethics, or values in the live exam, this alignment gap is fertile ground where the question is asking you about organization, culture, values, or ethics. The board can state values, but if KPIs show retention and staff satisfaction falling, those values are not being lived. Now, analyzing this industry and this company using Pestel model. What is Pestel? Political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. From a political perspective, industry is unregulated, no licensing or mandatory qualification. Government would introduce regulation in response to consumer protection or chemical safety concern. DKK, excellent HSA rated, would benefit relative to lower quality competitors. So tomorrow, if the government comes up with some sort of a rule or a legislation, it is most likely to it is most likely that you as in DKK will survive better or will be able to fare better as compared to the competitors. ठीक है. Economic standpoint, this is a stable economy which supports growth in look and feel good spending. Excuse me. Industry revenue is volatile, sensitive to recession. DKK's wealthy demographic gives it recession resilience. Recession resilience. Now, this particular brand, they are in the excellent category, which means they are already serving high end and wealthy customers. So even if a recession comes, these people might not see. Although this is a discretionary spending, but because you serve also rich customers, they are not going to be affected by recession. Okay. Then labor is 50% of revenue, so wage pressure and labor shortage are key economic risk. Energy and water price volatility will reduce margin, compress margin. It is visible in the 2020x5 wala number. Okay. Then from a social standpoint, rising societal interest in personal appearance is fueling industry growth. Eco-conscious clients are an emerging segment. Clients, who are conscious and aware about the environmental settings. Okay. Talent shortage suggests social attitudes to hairdressing as a career are softening. Some clients now choose DIY at home using YouTube tutorials. So see, in the social part, you are basically trying to understand how does the social demographic respond to the current business. So the fact that some clients are now doing their own hairstyling at home, or there is talent shortage, which means that people individually are not willing to enter this particular industry, or they don't see this as a very good career option. The very fact that This is, customers are becoming more and more environmentally conscious, which is why they are preferring certain products. So this is the thought process of the population at large, and that is what we include in the social aspect. Then from a technological standpoint, online booking, salon management software, AR previews, that is augmented reality. मेरे दिमाग में AR मतलब अकाउंट्स रिसीवेबल ही आता है, बट नो, दिस इज augmented reality. Loyalty apps and social media are revolutionizing the industry, and DKK is behind. 75% of the salons still use paper systems. Celebrity hairdressers leverage social media following for premium pricing. So again, technology, digital marketing, that is changing the way we look at things. ठीक है. The environmental impact is interesting. Hairdressing has a huge environmental footprint: chemicals, water, electricity, plastic, plastic bottles, cotton wool. Only 20% of waste is recycled industry wide. Significant CO2 emissions. Sustainable hair care brands are rising in popularity. Now, from a legal standpoint, Uh, there are mandatory patch tests before first use of certain chemicals on a client. Then standard employment terms, health and safety, HNSS, health and safety regulations, consumer protection, competition and data protection laws are there. Computerized client records raise data protection compliance obligations. So all this GDPR, data protection, that is mostly triggered, when you are talking about uh, स्टोरेज ऑफ डेटा इन अ डिजिटल एनवायरनमेंट. फिजिकल डेटा में तो उतना सारा, मतलब वो टाइम पे ये सब रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस वर नॉट इवन देयर. ओके, हैव अ क्विक लुक एट पेस्टल बिफोर वी मूव टू पोर्टर साई फोर्सेस. ठीक है, हैव अ क्विक लुक, आई विल गिव यू अ मिनट. एंड डोंट वरी, यू विल गेट दिस पीडीएफ ऑन द ग्रुप. खुद के पास रख के मैं क्या करूंगा. ठीक है. But there is no answer, Aishwarya. This is just an analysis. What answer is there on screen? This is just an analysis, no? Now, hair products used, credit card information, personal details, allergy details. There could be a lot of personal information that the stores have, na? And that could be affected. So, yes, we are talking about that. Then, Porter's five forces at the industry level. So, what are the five forces? Competitive rivalry, new risk of new entrants, threat of new entrants, bargaining power of buyers, bargaining power of suppliers, and threats because of substitutes. Okay, Threat of new entrants is high. There are practically no barriers to entry, low startup cost, no regulation. Vacant hairdresser positions accelerate new entry because departing hairdressers tend to set up their own businesses, often taking clients with them. They mention that because of loyalty, it is quite possible that when a hairdresser leaves, he takes away his set of you know he takes away his set of regular loyal clients, and they don't go to the old hairdresser anymore. They go to this one, and the salon business gets impacted because of that. DKK's defense is that there is brand reputation, there are exclusive contracts, excellent HSA ratings, and location in wealthy areas. So this is something, which will give, although the threat of entrance is high, these are some of the points which are working in DKK's defense. Bargaining power of suppliers is high, especially for DKK. Uh, Only two very large international suppliers serve DKK under exclusivity contracts. Concentration risk is high. Single vendor dependence create हो रहा है यहाँ पे. Disruption to either contract would be material. DKK is also dependent on a single overseas uniform towel supplier and many small local laundries. ठीक है. Globally, these suppliers serve many other hairdressing businesses, so their bargaining power is reinforced. They are not dependent on DKK, but company is dependent on them because for each of these activities, they have just one supplier. So uh, that makes the company way more vulnerable. Bargaining power of buyers, medium to high, industry wide, low for DKK. Why is it medium to high industry wide? Because switching between salons is easier. Industry buyers have many salons to choose from, but DKK is there. If you have observed the data, they have like pre-appoint. They need an appointment. Walk-ins are not allowed. There's an in-depth consultation that is done. So basically, you are serving a specific niche of customers. It's wealthy clientele who are mostly loyal to you. Okay, so for them, the switching costs might be pretty high. Okay. However, the hairdresser client bond means if a hairdresser leaves DKK, clients may follow. Yes. Threat of substitutes, medium to high, cheap retail dyes, plus step by step YouTube guides allow DIY at home. So this YouTube tutorial has become a substitute for actually walking into the salon and using that service. Mobile and freelance hairdressers serving clients at home are a substitute for low end salon. So, your urban claps and all of that, they could be like a substitute for actually going to a salon for taking the service. Sustainable hair care brands are gaining popularity. Brand equity substitute for DKK's exclusive products. So while DKK is in the premium niche segment, there is a the threat is now coming because of these new age salon which are ESG compliant and all of that, and customers might gravitate more towards them. The competitive rivalry is high. 99% of the businesses are small independents, fragmented but heavy local competition. Three national chains compete at different tiers. DKK, Halo couldn't trim. DKK is premium. Halo is good. Trims is basic. So they operate at different tiers, so they are not competing in the same range or the same segment. Most acute rivalry for DKK is against the expanding regional premium chain and the new individual salon replicating DKK's offering. Individual salons who are copy pasting the approach taken by DKK, a they could be a reason for high competitive rivalry. ठीक है. एक बार हैव अ लुक एट द पोर्टर्स 5 वर्सेस एनालिसिस बिफोर वी गो टू पोर्टर्स डायमंड. लिमिटेड एप्लीकेबिलिटी है पोर्टर्स डायमंड का, बट ये एक बार आप जस्ट गो थ्रू द मटेरियल वंस. Let me know when you want me to scroll, huh? Exclusivity point is there, where you are talking about. I'll take you there. Wait. ये पढ़ लो आप. I'll take you to the exclusivity point. Done. Still trying to figure out the issue with the streaming. Can't figure that. Anyway, chalo. You can see me properly, na? You don't have a challenge. I just don't want that to happen. Chalo. Let's go to Porter's Diamond. Porter's Diamond explains why some nations excel in specific industries internationally. The pre-scene is centered on Kaeland's international hairdressing competitiveness. DKK operates only in Kaeland. Diamond is therefore not the most useful framework here. The applicable insight is limited. Factor conditions, HSA, and college courses provide skills supply. Demand conditions, you have a wealthy demographic, and the mindset is shifting, and related or supporting industries. Two international product or tool suppliers. So this is where the international connection comes in. By the way, where we saw that there is यहाँ पे ऊपर, not here, when we were analyzing the pre-scene, and we were talking about single vendor dependence and all of that. Here we saw, right, huh, two exclusivity contracts, one for hair care product, one for styling tools. These items can only be sold in Kaeland by DKK. So Kaeland has a special type of contract with two different international suppliers. One is specifically for hair care products, कि वो brand का hair care products in Kaeland can only be sold by DKK, and वो जो styling tools, we're talking about all those straighteners and Dysons and all of that, this is for that. So these are the two exclusivity contracts that are there, but these are with the suppliers. So unka product in Kaeland can only be sold by a DKK and not by anyone else. ठीक है. अब scenario planning एक थोड़ा सा समझते हैं, ठीक है। हेयर ड्रेसिंग रेवेन्यू इज सेंसिटिव टू इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस व्हिच आर अनसर्टन इवन इन अ स्टेबल इकोनॉमी लाइक केलैंड। थ्री पॉसिबल 3 to 5 ईयर सिनेरियोज। सी सिनेरियो प्लानिंग इसकी अलग अलग सिचुएशंस में क्या क्या हो सकता है। द फर्स्ट वन इज प्रीमियम कंटिन्यूएशन। द इकोनॉमी रिमेन्स स्टेबल, there is growth of wealth, there is a rising demand for the look and feel good wala aspect, the trend towards being environmentally friendly or that eco trend continues, and DKK invests in more digital marketing or digital aspects. So revenue grows mid single digit. Ecoline adds $1 to $2 million in revenue. These are just numbers, okay? These are numbers from my end. Actual amount might differ. But the thing is that if the premium business continues, then the company will benefit from that because the thought process of customers is the same. The economy is stable, so they don't mind spending. Or another scenario could be that there is regional disruption. We saw that there are these individual stores who are replicating the model of DKK. So what is happening is that the competitive advantage which DKK had is now going to the individual players also. So expanding regional premium chain captures share via aggressive pricing and digital innovation. Talent shortage becomes worse. You could also have a situation where some top-notch hairdressers with DKK might move out and they will open their own salon. They already know the tricks of the trade that this particular salon is using, and they will apply the same tricks for their business. So वो pull हो जाएगा in a different direction. What might happen because of this? The margin will fall below 12% as it is right now. The retention will fall even lower, and loss of 5-10 salon out of the overall 50 salons that they have, unless the company responds with some investment on the digital sector. Then there could be a sustainability shock. Stricter chemical regulations. You cannot use certain types of chemicals with your customers. Okay. Clients defect to eco position competitors. They move away from traditional businesses, to these newer businesses which are taking care of this ammonia free product, and which are basically taking care of the carbon footprint and all of that. So customers might gravitate towards them. This is the third scenario possible कि sustainability के वजह से the entire approach changes because of the sustainability viewpoint. Now capex of 2 to 3% of revenue to refit salon with ecosystems. The first mover advantage if DKK acts decisively. Given excellent HSA rating, the company will be in a position to bounce back. But yes, there would be a capital expenditure to, in a way, align yourselves with the sustainability model. ठीक है, एक बार देख लो. If you have any thoughts on this, let me know. I'll move to strategic capabilities. ठीक है, एक ही चला रहा हूँ, इनके क्वेश्चन देखो। चलो, let's talk about strategic capabilities, resources, competencies, and VRIO. ठीक है, Salah in prime location is a capability. This is a tangible resource. Threshold, any premium Salah needs them. You know, prime location is very very important. 50 luxurious Salah interiors, similar layouts, or distinction. This is distinctive, and replication is expensive. Not everybody will be able to create the same experience. Then HSA rating, it is excellent, rated across all the 50 salon. And uh, this is an intangible reputational part and distinctive. Most competitors are rated good or very good. There are two exclusivity contracts, so you have a relationship with a supplier. This is irreplaceable in Kalen for those brands. मतलब वो दो brand का sale can only happen through your channel, through you, not through anyone else. Then full HSA qualified hairdressers plus 12 months CPD. So every 12 months they are expected to get this continuous professional development. What happens as an outcome is that, you know, your human resource capability keeps on getting revived, and you know, this is above the industry threshold, by the way. Then internal promotion to salon manager, HR competence. So this is, you are doing the bare basic here. See, when I say threshold, that means ye to hona hi chahiye, this everyone should have. Distinctive means this is something which sets you apart, this is different. So salon in prime location is a threshold, hona hi chahiye, has to be there. 50 luxurious salons, distinctive. Replication across the of that particular layout across different stores is expensive. HSA excellent rated, this is distinctive. Why? Because most competitors are rated very good or good. Okay. Two exclusivity contracts is great. Those two suppliers can only operate through you. Then full HSA qualified hairdressers, distinctive. Nobody has so many. 12 months CPD, no one has. Every 12 months, you know, that training session and skills improvement. Then personalized consultation process, again distinctive. Everyone doesn't have it. DKK's brand reputation, this is their core competence, because you know, in that premium segment they are the most well known. Promotion of staff is a threshold activity, everyone must do it. By doing this, you are not creating something unique. Okay, you have limited social media presence, that's below threshold, that's a weakness. And paper booking plus manual stock count again is below threshold, that's a weakness. Okay, now VRIO test for DKK's key resources, exclusive supplier contracts. Is it valuable? Yes. Is it rare? Yes. Is it inimitable? See, exclusivity means you can operate through DKK and not through anyone else. So nobody can copy that. That is inimitable. And is it exploited by the organization? Partly, but there is no online retail. If you were doing online retail, you would have been able to increase your sales better. You are only selling these products to those customers, you know, who are walking into your store. Okay. Then verdict is that it is sustained, partly used. You can do way more with exclusive supplier contract. Then uh, excellent HSA rating across 50 salon. Is it valuable? Yes. Is it rare? Yes. Is it inevitable? Because yes. Why? Because it will take years for you to achieve it, right? Is the organization exploiting that? Yes, sustained advantage. है. The DKK brand has been there for 40 years. Valuable, rare, yes. Inimitable, yes, because nobody can create the same brand. They can create a better brand, but not the same one. Is it fully exploited? Yes, mainly through word of mouth. You have a sustained advantage. HSA qualified workforce, valuable, yes. Rare, partly, not completely. And is it inimitable? The answer is it can be replicable through training. Everybody else can rise up to that level, and it is a temporary advantage. If people upgrade, then the advantage remains. Salon network and location, valuable, extremely. Rare, no, everybody can have, you know, their outlets in prime locations. Inimitable, partly. Why? Because the rents in prime location will be high, so not everybody would be in a position to pay that level of rent, and the company is fully exploiting that, but this is still a temporary advantage. The core competence statement, DKK sustained advantage is the combined system of excellent HSA rated salon, full HSA qualified staff, regular CPD hairdressers plus exclusive supplier contracts embedded in 40 years of brand equity, individually replicable in parts. Okay. So this is the VRIO test. एक बार have a look. Read this carefully before we move on to the next model. Oh, and yes, we will also be doing a live session for the pre-June मौका. वो भी मैं करूँगा, but I'll not do it at 11:30 because then I realized it goes on till 2 a.m. People drop off because they want to sleep. I am the only one talking like an idiot at the end of the day. तो मैं डे टाइम में करूँगा वो, ठीक है? Done? What means? प्री जून मॉक आता है ना, वो भी सॉल्व करूंगा आपके साथ. That is what I'm saying, but I'll not. The original timing was 11:30 p.m. रात को. I'll reschedule it to a more convenient time. ठीक है? That is what it meant. Are you with me? All of you? ठीक है? देख लिया? Yes, I will be giving one mock with respect to pre-scene also, but you will get that on Friday. No, you will get that tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday na. You will get that tomorrow. ठीक है? चलो. एंड शॉन, आई नो यू आर हियर. प्लीज डू मी अ फेवर, एपीएम के ग्रुप पे डाल दे कि बिकॉज आज एसबीएल प्री सीन है, वील नॉट हैव अ सेशन टुडे. हाँ, फॉर एपीएम प्लीज ग्रुप पे डाल देना. आई एम नॉट स्विचिंग ऑन माई व्हाट्सएप और माई फोन, अदरवाइज वो इधर उधर के कॉल आना शुरू हो जाता है. ठीक है? यस. केशा's question, thank you so much Sean, and thank you in advance. Kesha's question is the organization exploiting this? The answer, what is the meaning of org exploited? The question is the organization making full use of this resource or competence that they have? Jaise exclusive supplier contracts, they are not making full use of the fact that they have an exclusive supplier contract. Ideally, what should these people have done? क्या करना चाहिए था? Ideally, what these people should have done is they should have started selling the product online. ठीक है? So you would have gotten access to many more people. Sale in the physical store plus online sale. तो ये जो exclusive supplier contract है that they can sell only through you, you would have been able to basically attract a larger audience base. But you are not able to do that because you are not selling it online. तो आपके पास capability है, but you are not fully exploiting that capability. That is what it means. ठीक है? Is that okay? Chalo. Porter's value chain. In Porter's value chain, there are primary activities: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, service. And then you have the supporting functions, which is procurement, technology, human resources, and the firm infrastructure. Now, the key value chain insights: operations and service are the activities where DKK adds most margin through consultations, personalized advice, premium fixtures, and HSA excellent quality. Okay. So in the value chain, the highest value is primarily coming in from operations and from the service aspect. Technology is a critical weak link. The paper booking system, manual stock control, absence of online booking, and absence of online retail are some of the biggest problems, potential problems, existing problems that the company is facing, and this is leading to value erosion. Procurement is excellent in terms of product, brand quality, but highly concentrated. Only two suppliers carry the entire retail proposition. If you had more supplier contracts, you would have been in a better position. Now, iska the way there is exclusivity in one way, na, there could be a two-way exclusivity that is not given here. Maybe it might be given to you in exhibits. So, just giving you an idea on the two-way exclusivity. Think about it this way: that I am working with one company for ACCA. So I have exclusivity with them that I can only teach ACCA with that company. There could be another aspect of exclusivity. Okay? If they want to teach ACCA, they can only appoint me and not some other faculty. So that is two-way exclusivity. In the data, it is not given anywhere. It might come up later. So you just have to, in the exhibit part, agar wo aaya, to you have to be careful. Procurement is excellent in terms of product or brand quality, but concentrated, like we said. Firm infrastructure is the weakest support activity. No audit, nomination, remuneration committee. Internal auditor reports to finance director, compromising independence and tight central control of regional managers and sala managers. Okay, so these are some of the snags or some of the limitations in the infra. Okay. Now let's understand the value network. DK is part of a wider value creation network beyond its own value chain. The external partners, the two exclusive hair care and styling tool suppliers, premium product range that DKK can sell exclusively in Kalen, which means these products cannot be sold by anyone else. Only DKK can sell it, which basically means there is a chance of higher sale, higher revenue. CPD events and brand reputation reinforce DKK's premium image. HSA awards the excellent rating that anchors DKK's premium positioning, runs the HSA exhibition, a platform for DKK hairdressers to gain profile. So when we talk of value network, what we are trying to understand is how are different people in the value chain contributing to, how are different people not just in DKK's value chain but in its entire ecosystem, their partners, and how they are adding to DKK's presence. Then colleges and CPD providers, they train the qualified workforce that DKK depends on. Sponsorship by global hair care brands further reinforces brand prestige. Local laundries outsourced washing, drying, and ironing of branded towels and robes. Overseas uniform and towel suppliers. So, branded uniforms reinforce the premium look so that uniformity, that standardization is there. Then, NHU negotiates with DKK on working conditions, provides legitimacy for staff representation, could become hostile if staff satisfaction issues escalate. ठीक है. So if staff is not happy and they end up reporting to the union, then it is going to create bigger issues for the entity at large. And if it reaches the union might create roadblocks in the smooth functioning of the organization. Then press and influencers, they attend HSA exhibitions and competitions, amplifying DKK's reputation. So the social media influencers bolo, press bolo, these people, they have a pivotal role to play in the growth of DKK. Why am I saying that? Because if they speak positively about the brand, then the brand is only going to get an uplift from there. Okay. Now, एक बार देख लो value network properly. before we go to SWOT analysis and Toes matrix. Finished? Okay. Now, SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, and Toes matrix. SWOT analysis, let's understand what are the strengths. Most well-known premium brand, they have 50 salons, all are rated excellent. They have fully HSA qualified hairdressers who are also given continuous professional development. ठीक है. Then you have exclusive supplier contracts which will help you to make sure that their products are sold in your country or only through you and no one else. ठीक है. Then you have prime locations for your salons, which is a huge competitive strength over your competitive advantage over the rest. Then personalized service and consultation is, what brings people to you, and it helps you to maintain that niche. Again, strong values like citizenship and sustainability, and internal promotions which will help you to ensure that your people are kept satisfied. Now, in terms of weaknesses, you have a paper appointment system. No shows and double bookings are a problem. There is no online booking. No online booking, no online retail, limited social media presence. Retail KPIs were missed in 20x5. The retention percentage is falling. Staff satisfaction is declining. Operating profit margin has dropped. There is no commission for retail sale, and salon managers have little autonomy. Plus, governance weaknesses भी है. No audit, nomination or remuneration committee. Strength and weakness are inside the organization, opportunities and threats are outside the organization. The opportunity for this company is that they can start online bookings and they can start SMS reminders. They can also get on board with the augmented reality previews that will definitely help the organization in attracting more customers and retaining them. Then loyalty programs and rewards can be introduced, because you have a whole stream of very loyal customers who keep on coming back to you, so you could give them loyalty rewards. The salon management software can actually help you with inventory, right? Then sustainable eco hair care line, with so many people now gravitating towards eco-friendly products, you can also switch your suppliers and your input material, and of course your entire processes, so as to make it more sustainable. Then geographic expansion, own training academy revenue, that can be a good opportunity, because right now it's the training is done by a college or one of those institutes. You could get into that. There is strong industry growth, because the look and feel good trend is rising. The HSA exhibition also offers you publicity, so you can try that, and then you can acquire local premium chains. Threats, if I were to talk about that, new regional premium chain replicating DKK's offering, that is a challenge, because Your competitive advantage might not remain yours for a very long time. There could be others, who are copying the same thing that you are doing, and that might erode the advantage that you have just now. Then hairdresser shortage, staff poaching. See, one threat is that the good hairdressers in your organization can leave, and they can set up their own business, which means one small chunk of customers at least moves away to someone else. Some other organization might end up poaching your staff. Then there is poaching means वो ज़्यादा पैसे देके उनको ले लेंगे. Then energy and water price volatility, that is important. Input cost के हिसाब से it can have an impact on the margins. Then single supplier concentration risk with those two international suppliers. Then the home DIY tutorials and the YouTube substitutes can also create a problem for you, because your customers might end up feeling कि यार ये खुद कर लेंगे, तो your revenue will drop. Then the patch test failure, like I was describing, you apply that chemical, I think यहाँ पे लगाता है ना, you apply that dye, तब कुछ नहीं हुआ, but when you apply it to the entire head, you get some allergic reaction, and then the customer files a case against you. That could be a serious problem. Economic downturn might impact trade, कितना भी premium हो. Hair styling is still a discretionary spend. Then a data related risk, cyber, GDPR, unregulated industry, quality drift by competitors not policed. So see, because right now you really don't have a regulator, so a lot can go wrong in this industry, and you won't be able to get uh, any kind of help from the government. Okay. And when we see what is the TOES matrix, it helps to convert the strength, weakness, opportunity, threat analysis into the next strategy. Okay. So TOES, threat, opportunity, strength, weakness. Strength and opportunity combined. Use strengths to seize opportunity. Launch eco hair care line using exclusivity partner relationships. So you could get into the eco-friendly space here. You can open your DKK training academy, commercial revenue plus HR pipeline. So by training individuals, so you can have a separate vertical only for training, and when you enroll people there, you can you will be able to collect fees from them, right? So that will be revenue generation. And when you need to hire people, you will have talented staff ready with you. So strength and opportunity, using strengths to seize opportunities. Then use excellent HSA rating and CPD record on social media. Talk about that so that you can keep on highlighting the good work that your organization has been doing. Strength and threat, use strength to deflect threat. Reinforce brand loyalty program to fight the regional chain. So this way you can prevent your staff from going to, so not your staff, you can prevent your customers from going to competitors by offering them loyalty rewards and all of that, right? Lock in suppliers with longer term exclusivity renegotiation. Make sure that more and more suppliers are associated with you, and instead of locking them for 1 year or 2 years, you lock them for a longer period of time. But yes, you must evaluate the cost of doing so. Then use excellent rating to defend against patch test incident, health and safety issues. Your rating should also give you the ability to see, with that excellent rating you will be able to generate better revenue. You can use that to make sure that you double check the patch tests, and even if there is negative publicity, you will be able to deflect that to the best extent possible. Then WO, fix weaknesses by seizing opportunity. This was use strength to seize opportunity. This is fix weakness by seizing opportunity. Implement Sala management software plus online booking plus SMS reminders. That is a gap right now. Launch online retail to recapture the 6.2% target. ये year on year आपका रिटेल का जो डेटा था, just the idea is to get back to that number. Introduced hairdresser commission on retail. So this is the commission part that we are talking about. If there is a hairdresser who, let's say, he recommends a particular product to a customer ki use this shampoo, and then the customer buys that shampoo on the hairdresser recommendation, then you give him a small, say, some commission as an incentive. Now this is the point that Kesha had raised. No commission as in DKK doesn't receive commission. No, we are talking about analyzing commission from a different standpoint. Introducing hairdresser commission on retail means, see, right now that number can be given or implemented in such a way so that right now if they don't have an incentive to make that recommendation, they will be able to make that recommendation because they are looking at it from a different viewpoint now ki yaar, agar if we facilitate the sale of this product, then the commission on the sale of this product will come to us. So that aspect basically, so overall sale bhi increase hoga by paying a small additional price. Then WT, defensive moves, establish audit plus risk committee to manage governance risk, cybersecurity program to protect client records, and staff retention scheme to fight poaching. So this is the most vulnerable area in the strategy matrix. What are some of the moves that you can implement in order to protect your entity, right? You would establish audit plus risk committee, cybersecurity programs for client data, specifically in the online mode. So all of these are ideas, that you would think of and implement. ठीक है, एक बार have a look at this information. जरा ज़्यादा हो रहा है, हाँ. Have a look at this, read it carefully. If you have any other point, let me know in the chat box. And then once you are done, we'll move to the next point. And I think Nishant had asked yesterday, kitna ghanta chalega? I have given you an upper limit of 6 hours. I'll try to wind it up early. So, and I'll give you a break. Don't worry. I'll give you a break again. ऊपर कहाँ पे चाहिए आदि को? इधर कुछ नहीं है रे. यही है काम का. This is useful. The 4 boxes that you have. ठीक है? Tell me once done, na? See, what we are doing is we are analyzing this data from different point of view. It's not as if they are going to exclusively ask you this. They will ask you something else also. But for that, you should know, you should have all the analysis ready with you. Then let them ask whatever question. You are equipped with enough models and enough common sense so that you can answer the questions. Yes, of course. That is why we are doing this analysis, na, so that if something like this comes, you should be able to answer. Now, the question might not necessarily say toes matrix, but the question might ask you for a strategy, for a solution, and you can definitely use these points. That is why we are analyzing it from so many different angles, right? In our regular class, where we solved past questions, what did we do? I just gave you an overview of the pre-scene. Wahan pe we analyzed the pre-scene and exhibits and everything in 1.5 hour. Now we are only looking at pre-scene since 3 p.m. and we are not even halfway done, है ना? So the intention of this process is to give you that confidence कि भाई, let anything come in the exam, you should be able to deal with it. ठीक है? Now, figures for financial analysis have been derived from the 6 pre-seen financial graphs. ठीक है? Revenue from 20x1 to 20x5 is given. 16, 16.6, 17.4, 18.5, 18.8, 17.5% over 4 years, 4.1 CAGR. What is CAGR? Can you let me know in the chat box? Yes, compounded annual growth rate. Now, total costs have gone up from 13.2, 13.6, 14.2, 15.1, 16. Over the 4 year time frame, total costs have gone up by 21.2%. So they have grown faster than revenue. Operating profit 2.8, 3.0, 3.2, 3.4. So it went up and then it fell down, came back to 2001 level. Operating profit margin started off with 17.5, 18.1, 18.4, 18.4, and then dropped down to 14.9. So there's been a very sharp decline in the operating profit margin. Okay. Hairdressing services share uh, has remained stable. So from 94, 93.8, it's in the same 0.1% difference has happened basically. Then retail share has dropped from 6.2, 6.2. It's remained same for 4 years, and in 2005 it has dipped below the target. Okay. Client retention from 83% has gone down to 80.5%, so that is falling. Staff satisfaction has started off with 85.5, has come down to 83, and gradually, slowly and surely, 0.5% it has fallen 4 years in a row. Now, wait, can you see it now? Guys, please let me know in the chat box. Is it moving? Yes to what? I Let me see. Let me know in the poll, हाँ. I don't get आप yes किसको बोल रहे हो, no किसको बोल रहे हो. अभी नहीं चेंज कर रहा हूँ, अभी वही है. See moving. Can you see this moving? शुभ शाह, if you are deliberately putting in wrong items in the poll ना, देख लेना भाई. So two people are saying that the screen is stuck. Okay. Now, derived insights is you have financial data. यहाँ पे you have applied some of your, so you have tried to match this data with the other points given in the pre-scene, and then you are trying to understand ki, are those two things consistent with each other. For example, the revenue compound annual growth rate 4.1% over 4 years, slower than industry growth, driven by the look and feel good trend, suggesting that DKK is losing its share. In this particular economy, it's a stable economy, right? And in this stable economy, you have been told that more and more people are gravitating towards the look and feel good factor, and all of them want to spend on hairstyling and dressing and all of that, right? So in a certain way, you are So you have an opportunity, right? The industry has a lot of potential, but your CAGR is not, it is slower than the industry growth, suggesting that maybe DKK is not performing as expected and somewhere it is losing its share. The cost growth is faster than revenue growth, consistent with hairdresser wage pressure from labor shortages plus energy and water price volatility. So, because of the fact that hairdressers are limited in number, less and less people are entering into this industry, or it's no more like it's no more a very attractive career choice for individuals. So, somewhere you can say that there is a pressure on costs are rising because the wages and salaries of hairdressers are going up. Then there is labor shortage right now, which is also adding to the wage pressure. Then energy and water prices are volatile, which is again reducing your overall margins and increasing the cost. Okay. Operating profit has returned to 20x1 level in 2005. 5 years of margin growth has been wiped out in a year. If you see, this was growing. Okay. 2.8, 3.0, 3.2, 3.4, it came down to 2.8. So it had grown, and then suddenly there is a drop. The revenue per salon, 18.8 divided by 50 is 3,76,000. Okay. Revenue per hairdresser is 18.8 upon 390, $48,000. Retail revenue is 18.8 million ka 6.1%, which is 1.15% in 20x5. At the target 6.2%, it should have been 1.17 billion. And the total cost share roughly 85% of revenue in 20x5 versus 81 to 82% in the earlier years. So you can very clearly see the costs rising. Okay. And that impact on the profitability is clearly visible. Okay. एक बार go through this. ठीक है. Fair enough. Maybe we could attribute that based on what information we get in the exhibits. Okay. Now, critical success factor for DKK: maintain excellent HSA rating across all the 50 salon, retain top hairdressers. They are the reason. Retain top hairdressers. They are the reason why clients come and stay naturally. Sustain client retention. That is what will define success. Make it greater than 83% based on the trends. Then sustain retail share. It has dropped. Keep it at 6.2% or take it above. Hold the operating profit margin above 17%. Refurbish salon every 3 years to preserve the premium feel and the aesthetic. 100% CPD compliance every 12 months for every hairdresser. Make sure that all the hairdressers get that refresher training every 12 months so that the quality of their output and the quality of their work remains top notch. And that is what will keep on bringing customers back to your stores again and again. Now, the KPI dashboard of DKK, let's understand operating profit margin, is below the CSF threshold of roughly 17%. Client retention rate, historically it was 83 to 84%, now it has fallen to 80.5%. Retail share of revenue, financial and this thing, you have lost your, this is the first miss in 15 years. You were always at 6.2, now it has dropped down to 6.1. Staff satisfaction has declined over 4 years, it is around 83%. Then HSA rating coverage is strong. This is I mean, you're working well on this particular aspect. Okay. Then refurbishment cycles, it has been stated that every 3 years it is refurbished, but you need to verify this fact. Okay. Hairdresser CPD compliance, right now it is 100%, and it will remain as one of your strongholds if you continue to, if you continue with the 12-month CPD compliance. The online booking rate, which is a process, you don't really have that. Industry has moved on. Online retail, you are not doing, so that is a lost opportunity for you. Social media engagement on the marketing front right now is low. So 20x5, it is right now low, and it is, there is limited success or limited progress on this front. The company has admitted that, and it will need a revival package out of this to basically tackle online booking, online retail, and social media engagement. ठीक है, एक बार have a look at this. I'll again fetch some water. Give me 1 minute, तब तक आप ये पढ़ लो, ठीक है. Okay. KPI benchmarking. This is DKK. This is industry. HSA rating. KPI is highest for DKK. Industry is still struggling on that. HSA rating, you are excellent. Then retail revenue as a percentage of total revenue, 6.1% for DKK, 5% for industry. Then client retention, 80.5% for DKK, 70% for industry. Okay. Then what is this? Staff satisfaction, 83% for DKK, 75% for industry. Then operating profit margin, 15% for DKK, 12% for industry. Online booking, DKK is 0, industry is at 25. And in terms of social media, DKK is at 20, this is at 60. Okay, so this is how you would compare DKK with reference to the industry as a whole. Now, the balanced scorecard and Balrich excellence framework. Before we start with the discussion on